Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
And this is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day and not getting the flowers they deserve? That's about change. Tom, what do we have for listeners this week?
Part 2 of our team of the season. Last week we revealed our goalkeeper and defenders. This time we debate which midfielders and forwards will make it into our lineup. But first, old men yell at clouds. What are you angry about this week?
The heat. The goddamn heat. It's getting too hot. We're potting on Monday, and what is it? There's weather warnings of it being 38, 39. I think someone's even posted 40 somewhere. That's a bit ridiculous. I was saying to you just before we came on, I built the bullet and bought a fan, like £100 fan, which I never thought I'd do in my life. But I like £20 one broke last summer, and I'm just sat there like I can't not go without it. Looking into air conditioning units, I was like, am I really going to be that guy that gets an air conditioning unit for like the 2-3 days a year you need it over here? And
hey, everyone's been talking about them though lately, and like with how, remember like 4 years ago we had that 140-degree day in July, and now it's like this is our second heat wave of the year, and last year was really like hot in the summer as well. Getting an air conditioner doesn't sound too bad right now.
No, it don't. It makes going into the office seem worthwhile, actually. But, I mean, who would have foreseen it getting so much hotter? They didn't tell us this at school or anything, did they?
No, global warming's still not real, right?
What about yourself? What have you been yelling at this week?
This is actually such a niche one, but I'm sure we'll find, a lot of our listeners will feel the same. But it's ordering bananas on a food shop, and they give you the greenest banana you have ever seen. Like, they have just plucked it from the tree and like just given it to you on the same day. And then you leave them out for them to ripen, and it feels like they take 8 weeks to ripen. I've ordered them. I've gone out and bought bananas. I've eaten all of those bananas, and the ones I bought in the food shop are still not ripe.
You cannot be complaining about getting unripened bananas. Like, I'd be annoyed if they turned up ripe.
You would be annoyed if they turned up too ripe, but but there's like we all know there's a clear time to buy the bananas. It's when they're got a slight green tinge on either end, but you know they'll be like ready to eat in like a day or two, and then like you can smash through the bunch. You don't want to buy them when they're just like absolutely ripe, because then by the time you get to the fourth or fifth banana, they're all brown and mushy, and you can't slice them up properly. Like,
how many bananas are you eating a day at this moment?
At least one a day, sometimes 2 a day. Very rarely 2 a day, but sometimes if I need a second one in the afternoon, I will fancy myself to a second banana every now and then.
2 bananas at once, that's you all over, ain't it?
Mate, that's the After Dark podcast.
Okay, I'll agree with you on that one, even though I don't agree with it at all. Cool. Okay, should we take a break and then get into, well, I guess we'll go over our picks earlier this week, but then go into our midfielders and forwards?
Yeah, let's take a break and then do it.
Okay, and we're back. So, should we just run through our team formation, everything that we came up with last week? So, I'll go first. We're doing a 4-4-3, and our goalkeeper was Roofs for obvious decisions from Sunderland. Do you want to cover the fullbacks and I'll do the centre-backs?
Yes. So at right back we have Michael Keoda of Brentford, and at left back, no homerism here, we have gone with Tyrick Mitchell of Crystal Palace.
Absolute legend. So then moving on to centre forwards, we have Dan Ballard from Sunderland, and also keeping in with not being biased, we have Big Mav from West Ham. So as you can see,
he was an absolute shoo-in. Like, there's definitely no controversy about that pick at all.
No, whatsoever. You picked him, so I don't know what you're on about. So.
Well, you were the one batting for him, but I'm not taking it back. Like, no, exactly. Big Mav's in our team. He's the stone rock of our team.
Exactly. I think we said last week, didn't we? It was like, I found goalkeeper easy, obviously. Defenders hard. Like, it was hard to find defenders that had a solid season all the way through. People that really stood out. So that's why we've had people like Mitchell and Big Mav kind of slip in there, haven't we? But I think it's not easier, but there's a lot more to pick from in the midfielders and forwards. So, yeah, do you want to go ahead with your How do you want to do it? Do you want to do the honourable mentions for midfielder, and I'll do the honourable mentions for strikers?
Sure.
Yeah, maybe first of all then.
Yeah, so midfielders, I had quite a long list at first, and which I then boiled down to sort of five nominations that I think we should go through. The honourable mentions before we get on to those are Ethan Ampadu at Leeds. I think has been absolutely excellent for them. Like obviously Ampadu, someone whose career he was always like talked about as like was he going to make the breakthrough when he was at Chelsea. It took him sort of going to Leeds and that, but I think to Leeds fans he is their captain fantastic. Like he is like always at least like a 7 out of 10 for them, and he's just like the heartbeat of that Leeds side. And obviously what they did coming up as a newly promoted team, whilst less flashy than Sunderland's staying up, like they became really hard as nails after sort of like December sort of time, and Ampadu was at the heart of that. So I think at least worth a shout in this conversation.
Yeah,
And
I'd agree with
then
that. I feel like I need to give Leeds more of the flowers this season because I do keep saying like, oh, it's them like pushing forward from that Christmas period onwards, but it's such a team effort. I saw it. It's hard for me to pick out individuals throughout it.
yeah,
Like that's probably why I've left quite a lot of Leeds players out of everywhere in this, all honesty, because the big names are obviously there, like your Calvert-Lewins and whatnot, but it was an overall team performance that kind of got them over the line, wasn't it? It was people chipping in everywhere. So it's good
yeah.
that you actually highlighted almost one person in every position, apart from goalkeeper.
Yeah. Well, we both know that goalkeepers weren't going to get in the mix for this, but yeah. So yeah, hats off to Ethan Ampadu. My next honourable mention is maybe someone you have as a nomination, but Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall is up there for me. Like I think we're
Yeah,
both so impressed with him this season.
he's one of my honourable mentions as well. I think he picked up that player that had a lot of, well, I saw at Leicester whenever we played against them when they were in the Premier League, and he was at them, and I think he picked that up and just took it straight to Newcastle and was actually doing bits from there. Everton, what? Getting him mixed
I
up
don't
with
know why
Harvey
you said
Barnes.
Newcastle.
Harvey Barnes, that's why. It's literally getting him mixed up in my head.
Oh, the Leicester joint. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
Because I was writing Harvey Barnes down for one of them, and I was like, don't get this wrong when you're talking about it, and I literally just went and did that. Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, Dewsbury Hall, like the way he came in for Everton and just sort of like, I think he was probably their most important player this season. Obviously, Jack Grealish started really well. Iliman and Dye had moments where he was unplayable, but I think Dewsbury Hall ended up being their most significant player, and there was a spell out he had out injured, and I think they've really missed him in that time.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I feel like Grealish was the most important at the beginning of the season, and I was waxing lyrical about him. Then Dye and Grealish together was insane. And then Dewsbury Hall just seems like maybe a bit recency bias, but seems to the end of the season he's been the one doing the business for him over and over again. He's been the one that they can rely on. And to me, it's just such an easy signing. Does that sound stupid? Like, if you're a West Ham or a Palace, you just sit there and be like, why the hell did we not go out and get him? Because he can play in that midfield, in that front line, and he's just a great squad player, if not starter for you. It reminds me almost like a James
100%.
McArthur type of player. It's just there, like, he's going to put in a good game for you all the time, and it's just a good Premier League player to have. Which,
Yeah, we were linked with him a lot, and definitely one that I would have loved to have had in that West Ham team, and might have sort of got us enough. Like he can do everything in midfield that you want.
So annoying, isn't it? But yeah, great season, and he popped up with, was it 8 goals? Like that's a big
8
return.
goals. Yeah, no, it was really impressive. Like he's never struck me as a number 10. Like he's always struck me more as like a number 8. But to chip in with 8 goals is a great return for an attacking midfielder in an Everton side who didn't blow the doors off other teams, sort of thing.
8 goals and 4 assists. That's a lot of goal involvements. I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's why. I mean, probably maybe even deserves to be in one of the nominations. Not he's like top of the honourable mentions for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then my other honourable mentions are Bruno Guimaraes of Newcastle. Again, I think he had a really good season. Like I think in a down Newcastle year, there were still plenty of moments where Guimaraes held his own standard high. He was like match winner at times. Like I think while things were seemingly falling apart at Newcastle, Guimaraes was doing his best to try and hike them back up the table, but just at the end of the day, there were too many other issues with the defence and that caused Newcastle's problems this season.
Did he have his best scoring season this year in the end? Is that a stat I'm making up?
Did he actually? I can't remember if he actually ever. I think he was almost there, or he got
He was on track for it,
joined there, right?
Wasn't he? Or something? But I
Yeah.
just find it hard. I find it hard to put him in the team or almost nominate him because you expect something good. You expect so much from him. That's the problem, isn't it? It's like you expect a lot from that player to be doing so much that because Newcastle weren't doing well, I guess it just seems like was he having his best? He still was having a stellar season. It looks like it was his best according to Premier League stats, which we both know aren't always right on their website. He had 9 goals in the Premier League this season with 5 assists last year.
Yeah, so like needs to be in the conversation, right? Like I think I agree. Like we, at least both of us, we had him in our team of the season last year. We hold him up to such a high account. I still think he had a really good individual season if Newcastle didn't have a good team year.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. And yeah, it does look like it was his best scoring season. So fair enough.
Nice. I've got 2 other honourable mentions that will be quite quick ones. Noah Siddiqui at Sunderland, we mentioned in our young player of the season. Like we'll talk about another Sunderland teammate for sure in the next part of this the midfielders section. But yeah, just a tip of the cap to Noah Siddiqui, and then Matheus Mane as well. Just another honourable mention of what he did in such a struggling Wolves team. Like he really sort of gave them their only sort of shining light of the season. Like what was such a bleak season for Wolves fans at Molineux. Like Matheus Mane stepped up and gave them something to cheer about. Like he's definitely not going to beat out some of these other names, but just someone I wanted to have in the honourable mentions list.
Yeah, that's fair enough as well. I feel like if Wolves had done a little bit better, Mane had just done a tad bit more, he'd be close to some of the conversations because there were parts in games where he was completely bossing it and running through teams like almost like Yaya Toure like style, like going from back to front and like bossing the game for such a young kid is crazy. My only other honourable mention I have is Buendia from Villa because I just think he popped up a lot this season in our conversations and like popped up not just with great goals but like assists and everything. So yeah, I feel like his name was floated about quite a lot on the pod. But,
you've only brought him up because he got the winner against Arsenal, but yes, no, he had a good season.
We brought his name up constantly for Villa games.
Nah, he had a telling impact on a lot of Villa's season, not least getting the first goal in the Europa League final, first or the second one.
Yeah, that's why I just feel like what I was doing was just trying to think of whose names have come out of our mouths quite a lot this season for the right reasons, and it's like, yeah, it was up there with it.
Well, I've got 5 names in my actual nominations that we have to pick 3 out of in our 4-3-3. So
I have 3, and
all 3
of mine are definitely going to be in yours, but I'm not sold on one of them. I think I think we're both. Let's go down the Forest contingent first because we both have 2 Forest players in here, don't we?
Yeah, you have to have both of the two Forest main players in there.
Yeah, so obviously we have Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White, which seems mad to be saying, like, team of season, you're getting 2 players from a team that finished, what did Forest finish in the end? 16th? Was it below us or was it above us? Oh, stupid season switch over table. Where is it? Yeah, Forest finishing 16th, so just 1 below Palace. And it's amazing that we're putting 2 players in from a team that finished 16th, but Elliot Anderson, I've waxed lyrical about him too many times on this pod, like for me to go into any more detail, so I might let you just pick up the stats. And then Morgan Gibbs-White being the highest scoring English midfielder in the Premier League this year. It's crazy stuff. I've always said throughout the season, I don't understand how Forest were in the position they were in with the team that, not even just the team, the squad they had, the signings they brought in. Yeah, it shows that they went through so many managers because managers weren't getting the best out of what they had. But
I mean, they are so reliant on these 2 players that they had to have standout seasons to lift Forest out of the mire that they were in at times. Like we said, how many times did we say it that we were like, if Forest are going to stay up, Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White are going to need to play out of their skin over the last few months of the season, and they did.
They shouldn't have needed that with players like Murillo at their spine. They had Wood, who had basically came off best scorer in the season, who maybe a right one season wonder type of thing after all, but they had strikers that should still be doing the business up there with the signings they made. So
Yeah, but like Gibbs-White and Anderson are so clearly higher than the rest of their squad. Like they are so like, I mean, it's not a surprise Anderson's getting talked about like 120 million odd. Like,
well, we've had a bid rejected, haven't we? For
exactly,
that's some bull to reject that, isn't it? Like that's some big.
Yeah, and like Gibbs-White's transfer value has only increased from last summer, where he was at the subject of so much transfer speculation, and Forest were able to keep hold of him, and he's only gone and smashed it even more. Like he's at an even more impressive, at least end to the season. I think Elliot Anderson, I put him in there. He's definitely in the three for me because one of the stats, 297 duels won. I don't know if you had that same one, but he was that's most in the league of all players by at least 60.
60?
Yeah, the next player was like 235.
What's counting as a duel here? Like one-on-one going 50-50 for the ball, or just taking players on? What?
Yeah, like challenges, like aerial duels and stuff. Like all of that's like it's the stat for the most combative midfielder, essentially. Like someone who's always getting their foot stuck in. Like that's Elliot Anderson.
I do not remember a player with such good close ball control, like in high pressure situations at Selhurst for a very, very long time. Like I obviously grew up watching Wilf and being able to take men on, but the stuff I saw Anderson doing at the City Ground against like good Premier League midfielders for us at Palace he was taking the piss. He was literally taking the piss. Imagine if you're a Forest fan watching that week in, week out. It must have been amazing to watch, but also one of those things where you're like, yeah, this player is too good for us. It was like Elise towards the end. We just sat there like, yeah, this is way above our level now. Like, and
there's another player on this list who I've watched this season, who I was like towards the end of the season was like, make the most of watching him because he's going to go off to bigger and better things, and like it's just like right, just make sure you enjoy it. And like I know Forest fans have absolutely loved watching Elliot Anderson over the last couple of seasons. I know Newcastle fans were absolutely gutted to let him leave. Like they rue that decision to this day. Like it was forced by PSR rules and stuff, but they didn't have a sell-on clause included in it, so they're now like, wow, we're even kicking ourselves because we didn't get the sort of the windfall of money that's gonna probably likely come this summer when Anderson probably moves on. Like obviously he's at the World Cup now and showing it on a world stage, but he's got like the top clubs in the world as his suitors, so it's only sort of a move is likely this summer. I'll be shocked if he's donning the red of Nottingham Forest next season, but yeah, just what a player.
I wouldn't be too worried if I was a Forest fan about him leaving, because Marinakis will just chain him up in the basement, put a gun to his head like he did for Morgan Gibbs-White. So
yeah, I know. I said all that and then cut to him signing a new 3-year contract on August 31st.
With a gun in his back, literally smile and wave, just smile and wave.
Sign the paper here.
But yeah, I don't think we can put two Forest players in our team. We probably should talk a bit on Morgan Gibbs-White, but I mean, it's just gone strength to strength this season. Like, I didn't realise. Do you remember that back heel assist he did, where the ball's like coming across? I didn't realise that was like 2-3 seasons ago. I thought that was this season, and I was just like, Jesus, like he has just got better and better and better, and just a complete player now, like chipping in with the goals. Didn't have the strongest start to the season. Maybe we can use that against him to say why he's not made the team this season, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, most of his goals came towards the back half of the season, but then you look at it and it's got 15 goals, 4 assists. That's joint 5th for goals and the top amongst all midfielders in the Premier League. So it's like it's not even just English midfielders. He's just like battering, like as a goal scorer, he was just battering them. Maybe like towards the end of the season, he started playing on the left wing a little bit when Pereira sort of accidentally had to shift things around by playing Igor Jesus in the 10 and and move Gibbs White out to the left, like last sort of 3-4 games. Like, so maybe we could push him there if we want to go Garth Crooks with it. Like, I mean, I'm open to it because there's at least another couple of names that we have to mention in our midfields. Like, we have to talk about Granit Xhaka once again. I think he's sort of nailed on, given he was our signing of the season. He's sort of nailed on to be at least our holder, one of our midfield three.
Yeah, no, he's definitely one of my top nominees as well. So, do we need to speak more about Xhaka? I feel like we've covered him enough.
I mean, we touched on a couple of things last week. We didn't actually mention that he got 1 goal and 6 assists, which 6 assists is joint 9th in the league for assists. And one stat that I have for him that was really telling of his play was he completed 138 long passes, which was third best for all outfield players. So I think we talked last week a lot about him setting the tone with his defensive display for Sunderland, but actually he got them on the attack quite a lot as well with those long passes. Like, I especially remember earlier in the season, obviously the first game of the season against West Ham, where he would make a tackle, collect the ball, and then his first thought was, right, which of these wingers am I going to ping a ball out to? And it was just like, and he did that maybe more over the course of the first half of the season. But there were weeks where it was like he was putting out a highlight reel pass, and 138 over the season, like third best for all outfield players. Like, I think we definitely talked a lot about his defensive actions last week, and I think we also just have to mention that he does still have that element to his game, probably more so now than he did before in his earlier in his career, where he probably looked to carry the ball further. He's now using his passing range even more deadly to Sunderland's benefit. And yeah, I don't think we need to say that much more, but because I think he's nailed on for the team of the season.
Yeah, the style's almost Gerrard or like Rooney in his late career-esque, isn't it? Where pick up the ball, spray it across. But I feel like his assists were coming from free kicks, weren't they? That's because I remember saying, like, this week, another assist from him. And I was like, because when you said the stat about 6 assists, I was like, no, he didn't. But then I was like, oh, no, it was. I remember going through each pod being like, yeah, Xhaka assist, like he's doing bits for the team. Whereas we were thinking of him just breaking up play, like you say. Yeah, I think him and Anderson nailed on in the midfield. So I think we need to find one more.
So I've got 2 others in my 5.
Who are your 2 others? Well, I know exactly who one of yours is because you said
you
it. You
probably know both of them.
Yeah, I probably do. Is one a West Ham player and one a Bournemouth player?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm on brand.
Okay. Well, do your West Ham one first because he's not getting in. He's not.
Nah, I probably knew he wasn't going to get in, but Matheus Fernandes at West Ham was just an absolute baller this season. He sort of had no real help around him in the midfield. He was doing it all himself. Like, he got 3 goals and 5 assists. He also made 103 tackles, which was 5th most in the league. Like, he was just everything you wanted for a midfielder. It's just sort of, we didn't have anyone like next to him who really excelled. So Fernandes was having to do it all. And that's the player I was thinking about. I was talking about earlier, where towards the end of the season, the last couple of months, I was like, right, there's almost no chance this guy stays with us, even if we stayed up next season. Like, he's 21 years old, weirdly had 2 relegations on his CV, back-to-back seasons with Southampton and West Ham now, but like, it's not telling on him as a player. Like, he's an absolute like superstar of a player. Like, I think he can play for any team in the world.
See, I'm gutted because I don't think I saw enough of him this season, unfortunately. I wish the 0-0 at Selhurst towards the end of the season had been a bit more of a game where either team turned up to try and get some points. I feel like both teams in that game tried to do nothing, so he was basically not nullified in the game, but it was not like too much going forward. It wasn't too much to see for him. And then I didn't really catch much of West Ham games towards the end of the season because of the European days and everything. But
yeah, and that's when he got better from about sort of November, December time onwards. He started to get better and better.
You're not seeing most of the things he's doing in the highlight packages, though, are you? Either for the West Ham
No, not
games?
at all.
That's what I mean. It's like people would be like, "Oh, what does Daichi Kamada do?" It's like, well, you don't see what he's doing on the pitch when he's like unlocking play, he's getting past people, he's like dictating the tempo of a game. And it's stuff like that which I'm guessing he's doing, you're not seeing unless you're at the ground or you're watching the full game highlights.
This is why I try to watch like at least a couple full games a week, and then also rotate which teams I've watched. So if I've seen like a couple of, say, Fulham games for the last couple of weekends, then I'll watch like another game that's on at 3 o'clock or something, like obviously like where time allows, sort of thing. But just to try and give those other players, because you're right, like your midfielders are rarely going to stand out on highlight packages. They always cut to after the midfielders won the ball, or like after a nice little bit of passage of play in the midfield. So a lot of Fernandez's best moments won't be on those packages. But yeah, I can accept that he's not going to be in the three, but he's definitely in the conversation. More so than an honourable mention, maybe because I've watched him personally all season long. But yeah, what a player!
Yeah, I know. I'm very much looking forward to him, Bowen, and Somerville holding up Palace shirts pretty soon in the next few weeks.
Mate, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Championship next season.
Mate, we're going to raid your whole team. It's going to be glorious.
You aren't going to get any of them.
We're going to pick your carcass apart. It's going to be beautiful.
We'll see about that.
Go on, move on to your second team, Bournemouth, then.
I mean, I don't really need to say anything more about Alex Scott than I said last week on our awards show. Like, he is the dog's bollocks. What I would say is I really think we should have Alex Scott in here over Morgan Gibbs-White in this position, because at the moment we don't have a single Bournemouth player and they finished 6th. And I don't think, well, there might be one in the forward line, but if we don't have a single Bournemouth player, I feel like we've made a catastrophic error with our team of the season.
Just because you're now a Bournemouth fan doesn't mean we need to put them in.
Up the cherries, mate.
Give me some stats then to sway me.
Unfortunately, the stats aren't going to back up I was looking into the stats and I couldn't really, except for some really, really niche stat, which was like the points per game when he was on the pitch compared to when he was off the pitch was a significant bump, and more so than any of the other 5. I used FB Ref to compare the 5 that I put forward as nominations, and Alex Scott had the most impact in a points per game matter. When he was on the pitch, Bournemouth were much more successful than when he was off the pitch. But really, he just did everything. Alex Scott, he made loads of defensive contributions. He linked up the attack really well. He got Bournemouth going on the front foot because Tyler Adams is more of the defensive disruptor midfielder. I just think, Alex, how many, you're the vibes part of this podcast. How many times did we say after, in a Bournemouth recap, going, yeah, Alex Scott, what a player. He didn't have to score. You said it plenty. I said it more.
I don't think
that's such a lie.
In honesty, you said that first stat didn't help you. Was the main one you could find, but you said didn't help you out much. I think that's a pretty telling stat, actually. The one where the points per games and when he's on the pitch for him. And I've probably got to let him slip in for that one. I was going to take the piss with goals and assists because, yeah, but you can't really go past that, can you? And yeah,
No.
If we're going to put one Bournemouth player in, which I think we'll probably put more than one in, yeah, you can't really take him out of the heart of midfield. So I will concede on that one for you.
Hey, Alex concedes with a smile on his face. So our midfield is Xhaka, Anderson, Alex Scott.
Yeah. No, it's not looking like a bad team.
Mate, I'm happy with that midfield. That's got a bit of everything. I always look at this exercise from a football manager side of things as well. And it's with the defenders, I usually go with a ball playing centre back and a no nonsense centre back. We've ended up with 2 completely no nonsense centre backs. Whereas in the midfield, we've got a ball winning midfielder in Granit Xhaka. We've got a box to box midfielder in Elliot Anderson, and then another kind of box to box, but maybe more attack minded midfielder in Alex Scott. I think that's a pretty complementary midfield 3.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Have you been playing that 38-0 game?
I have started playing it over the weekend.
Yeah, how much? So for anyone that hasn't played it yet, it's 38-0.com or .app, and you basically get a roulette wheel of like players from all different teams in Premier League era. You got to try and build a team that would go unbeaten the whole season, and you pick your formation and all that. But basically, Tommy, you've been in the same way. You like pick a formation and just cramming people in. I've had like I think John Terry at like left back. I've had some stupid things going on just to be like, yes, I need to get the highest rated team here possible. But
yeah, well, I was doing the World Cup one over the weekend, and I got Messi in attack, and then the rest of my players were just absolute trash, and I was like, yeah, Messi's gonna have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here.
For anyone who hasn't played it, do it whilst you're at work. It's absolutely addictive. But yeah, it's not even a paid ad there. Just. Oh god!
If you want to sponsor us 38, give us a shout.
If anyone wants to give us money, please, I'll take it. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our forward line. I've been pretty fluid with my. I was going to say
you've Garth Crooks it, haven't you?
No, a little bit. I was going to say I should have done honorable mentions for midfield because I had more there than I do for strikers.
Do you have any other honourable mentions in midfield that I didn't mention?
No. That was all mine. All mine were taken there. So
okay, cool. I've got quite a few. I've broken it down to a right winger, a striker, and a left winger for the forwards.
Have you actually got it with people in the right positions though?
Yeah, because I'm autistic and anal about this kind of thing.
Okay, how are we gonna do this?
There's maybe one that I've Garth Crooks it, but I do feel like you could put him out there and it'd be pretty good.
Okay, I'll just do my
and that's on the left wing, but yeah.
I'll do my honourable mentions, and if they're in your actual ones, then they're in your actual ones. If they're not, then we're all good. So biased one to start with. So I don't think you can have 21 goals a season and it'd be overlooked, especially as a Palace player. So yeah, have him there for me for sure. Have Ollie Watkins, who's just outside of my striker.
Oh, he's in my. I've got a 2 for striker, and he's in there. And let's leave that chat until we get to striker because I want to put him forward.
Okay, we'll leave that. I did have Grealish for the way began the season, but we already touched on that and injured way too early, can't get near it now. But I felt like that can't really get overlooked too much. And then I had I've just for you for an honourable mention, I had Bowen as well. I think
interesting. I've got him in a shout, so I think that's we'll come back to him. Okay. I've got a few more honourable mentions, but finish yours. Is that all of yours?
Yeah, it's all of me now.
Okay, so right wing, few other honourable mentions. I've got John McGinn. I think he was again really consistent for Villa. I
just can't get over him and his arse when we beat them 3-0 up there. And he was just backing into people with his bunda trying to win fouls, and he was not getting them. So then he started diving. And I was like,
well, he does that all season.
Yeah, but I was I've seen you not dive in these challenges before and be rock solid, and people bounce off you, and the referee gives you everything. And as soon as they didn't, it was I'm gonna flop here. And it was probably Villa's worst game of the season, that 3-0 at the beginning of the year when I thought they were gonna get relegated. It was that bad.
It was their blip. Other than that, I think they were really solid at Villa Park. No. It was just that one random night. The Palace just beat Oliver Glasner's Palace just do that to Villa.
Yeah, it is that, isn't it? But yeah, scored big goals for him throughout the season as well. Is such a key player for him.
Maybe a similar one to Ismail Assar. If we were including the European trips and league part of it, then yes, both of them probably have a slightly better shout. But for now, honourable mentions. We mentioned him earlier, so I don't have to touch on him too much. You said Jack Grealish, I say Iliman and Dye. As an honourable mention, I think he took up the mantle when Grealish got injured. They were both cooking early in the season, but then Iliman Ndiaye was basically Villa's only wide threat for the rest of the season after Grealish got injured. They just had no one to complement him, so everything was getting funneled down Ndiaye's side, and eventually that took its toll. And he just got stunted. He was getting double upped. It was just too difficult for him, and he just ran out of steam. So definitely not a nomination, but an honourable mention.
That's exactly what we said, though, wasn't it? At the beginning of the season, we're him and Grealish together. They don't know who to double team. They're creating opportunities for each other. It's brilliant. And then they lost each other God, that sounds so dramatic. But yeah, as soon as he was by himself, it happened when Everton came to Palace. And every time Ndiaye got the ball, I was like, oh my God, he is so good. He's probably the best player on the pitch. But it was, there's 3 people around him. He's trying to get inside. Every time he's getting inside, he's like losing the ball, or he's making a mistake, or he's getting a shot off, but it's nowhere near close. And it's just like, it's exactly what happens for the players. And I feel for players. I feel for great players in mid-table teams, because that's what happens if you don't have someone around you.
It's the frustration that players get, and definitely why they look to move on to bigger teams.
Yeah, it's like with Elise. I don't think he's got any better since going there. I think he just has more space and more time to do what he can in it. So that's
and he's getting more chances. If you have exactly. if you double your amount of possession, your creative players are going to have more chances to show off their skills. It's just football 101. My other honourable mention for the right wing is Ryan. Just to again, I know we've given him a tip of the cap last week with signings and young player and stuff, and I know he only joined in January, but made a hot impact from the first minute, and then had a little dip as he acclimatised to the UK and to English football, and then ended the season really, really well, and is now featuring for Brazil in a World Cup. So just Ryan. Ceiling looks absolutely unbelievable for that player. Worth a mention.
I should have had him as an honourable mention actually as well. I missed that. Yeah.
I
agree.
Those are my right wing honourable mentions. My left wing honourable mentions are Crescencio Somerville, mainly just for being absolutely insane for January and February. He was on a tear that started West Ham's attempt to stay up, and he was such a big part of that, and now he's killing it at the World Cup. Two goals in 2 games for Netherlands, and adding to a price tag that is getting up and up for us when we very likely sell him this summer.
We'll take him off your hands for 15 mil, mate.
And then the other one is Noah Okafor at Leeds. I think he ended the season really, really well. I know we haven't actually included a Leeds player in here, but I have mentioned a few of them in honourable mentions. I think Okafor sort of started a bit slowly, but by the end of the season showed his talent, and he's a player who I've mentioned before is desperately looking for a home. Having bounced around Italy, I think it was at Napoli and AC Milan, after moving from Red Bull Salzburg, you kind of he seems to have found a home at Leeds. I think he did plenty in his debut season in the Premier League that he can look to build on. So just a sort of a nod to him as well. And then
8 goals as well, and he was shit on at the end of the season on the finishes. Yeah. It's fair.
Exactly.
I already said my bet on Leeds. It just seemed like a great team performance that second half, or just before the second half of the season. So
and then strikers. I have a feeling you're going to say you've got one of these as a nomination. Then, if you just got one striker in your team
I've got one, but I don't want it to be that one. It's a real paradox.
But this is why I said save the Watkins chat. My 2 honourable mentions for striker are Dominic Calvert-Lewin. As much as I ragged on him this season, he proved me wrong. He showed up for Leeds, really important goals at times, because Leeds weren't blowing teams off, blowing teams away. They were getting nitty-gritty wins, and Calvert-Lewin was constantly getting the goal that got them that win.
Holy hell, he got 14 goals.
Yeah,
when did that
a few penalties in there, but still, he was not. I mean, I remember when he got to 10 goals in the season, and I was like, I was probably wrong. I probably owe it. I think that was when I owed him an apology.
That's unbelievable. I didn't realise.
He completely shut me up. Free signing as well. That. That was just
coming back from injury as well throughout the season, because he came back from injury at the beginning of the season. Fair enough, lad. I'll give him that, I guess.
Yeah, and then this is someone you definitely won't have, but Danny Welbeck is an honourable mention in my strikers, because in his old age he is aging like fine wine and just getting better.
Don't you put James Milner in then as well, mate? No. You sure? Do you want to put that Van Hecker, who's worth 52 mil somehow? Do you want to put him in?
He was on my original list of defenders, and then I got rid of him.
Did I already rant about that? I feel like I ranted.
Yeah, we've done that. We did that last week.
Okay.
And Okay, so let's go position by position because I've got two nominations for each of them that you've kind of like some of them you've kind of mentioned. Let's start with the right wing.
Okay. I'm not.
So
I'm not
you've got
budging.
one. You've got one here.
Yeah, I'm not budging. Just so you know, we can begin, but I'm not budging.
Okay. Do you know who had a better season?
Who?
Jarrod Bowen.
To be fair, what's worse?
If you look at the link I've put in the document, it's a player comparison between. Sorry, we haven't even said the other player is of course Harry Wilson of Fulham, as Alex's favourite player in the world.
What's worse, getting relegated with West Ham or a nothing season with Fulham? I feel like I've just insulted West Ham and Fulham fans in one go there.
Yeah, you've insulted both of us, but we'll move. I mean, nothing you said wasn't true. Okay, let me just give you the top level stats, right? Jarrod Bowen, 9 goals, 11 assists, which was third best in the league for assists, and that's 20 goal contributions overall. Harry Wilson, 10 goals, 7 assists. Do you want also? Jarrod Bowen started 38 games out of a possible 38. Harry Wilson started 32 out of a possible 36.
Yeah, if he played those two more games, he would have got the 3 more goals or assists he needs to match Jarrod Bowen. That's what you're saying there.
Well, yeah, his goals per 90 was 0.57, whereas Bowen's was 0.53.
I mean, are we really picking difference over 4 seconds or 4 minutes?
0.04.
Oh.
Mate, like, I'm sorry, but Bowen statistically had a better season than Harry Wilson.
Yeah, but it's not about statistics, it's about vibes. Who had the 5-year season?
Harry Wilson until February, and then he just decided he was done for the season, and Fulham just careened into their 11th spot as usual.
I don't know. Did we have Harry Wilson on our team last year? I don't think we did we?
No, I'm pretty sure we didn't have him in there last year.
I think he just did.
No, we had Jarrod Bowen on the right wing last year.
We did, didn't we? I don't think he's going back as a other 14 team of season alumni. You got to give me more than stats. Because if Jarrod Bowen was your man to do the business and keep you up this season, he didn't do it, did he?
I mean, he did his damn best. 11 assists, 9 goals, like scoring 20 goal contributions in a season for a team that got relegated. I think we kind of mentioned it last week in our player of the season. Like the captaincy weighed on him. It wasn't his best season for West Ham, but I mean the stats speak for themselves. Like he did his damned best to try and keep West Ham up. Like scored got a couple of assists last couple of games. His corners were absolutely excellent at times. He was trying. He clearly was trying. The team just around him was quite bad.
See, I was going to extend an olive branch to you and say, could we have him as a striker rather than a right wing? But if we put our team in the season out, if we put our team in the season out, and it has Big Mav in defence and Chad Bowen up top, we're not getting away.
Mateus Fernandes in midfield, and
there's something gone horribly wrong there.
No, I refuse to put Bowen up front because I've watched him for 6 months play as a striker when we had no fit available strikers a couple years ago, and he tried his hardest, but it just never worked. It's like the same as like watching Mo Salah play striker for Egypt. You're like, just play him in his right position, and just fit your team around him. It's like Graham Potter trying to play him as a top in a 2-man up front earlier this season, and it was just like he just didn't know what to do. And then Nuno comes in, eventually finds his team, and oh look, shock, surprise, Jarrod Bowen is out on the right wing as he is best placed to do so.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to make the argument with the two of them because I want to say Harry Wilson just did more, it seems, for the team. He did more, but is it because it's more of a standout to me? Whereas Jarrod Bowen, I'm just expecting that 8, 9 performance every single week in, week out. So when he does do something, it ain't that big a deal. Whereas Harry Wilson,
that's the thing.
This was crazy, outstanding stuff. I was comparing him to Messi at points in the season with his control and being a small guy going around a pitch with the long hair. It's just his low centre of gravity, all that just felt this is the dog's bollocks right here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at Harry Wilson last season got one assist and 6 goals. Like still a decent enough contribution, but you change that to 7 assists and 10 goals. That's quite a big difference. And yes, he was scoring worldies earlier in the season. I said it last week. If we'd have ended the season in February, he would have been player of the season without a shadow of a doubt. It's just like that end of the season when Fulham needed players to step up to try and get into a European spot. He, like a lot of their other players, got quiet and they didn't push on. But I'm easy either way. Like, I've made my case for Jarrod Bowen. Like, you've heard me out at least. So yeah, I give you the deciding decision here.
Let's put Wilson in, give Fulham fans something. Judging I've just slated both Fulham and West Ham fans, and
fair enough. Like, we did get relegated at the end of the day, so we've already got Big Mav in there.
Okay, let's go to the other wing and we'll leave the striker one because I feel like we might do something a bit crazy there.
Yes,
okay.
I will. I'll save my energy for the striker one.
Yeah.
I've got two left wingers who one of them kind of didn't play much left wing, but I feel like we could put him out there.
Yeah, I've got I think we're talking about the same player who I've shimmied in here. I went for Kruppi as one of my forwards.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool. Who else did you have then?
I've got Morgan Rogers out there because he did get 10 goals, 6 assists, and unlike Kruppi, he did actually play on the left for most of the season. I did check into the numbers, and Kruppi most of his minutes this season came from playing as a second striker. I think we both thought of him as a left winger because he took up that left half space outside the box so often, and some of his best goals were from that area, just to the outside, that side of the D of the outside the penalty box. He seemed to be there, so it kind of felt like he had come in from the left, but he had that license to roam. So I don't feel like.
Well, I was going to say they were all the front three were just doing kind of all different what they wanted, weren't they? It was a fluid front three. It felt like most of the time for Bournemouth. It was cool, we can interchange, and that's what made it so hard for defensives to be can't really man mark it. Don't know what you're doing because you've got 3 attackers coming at you pretty much at all times, and all those attackers are dangerous. It's crazy that Evan Nilsson's probably the least strong one out of them now, isn't he? Which is...
Yeah, well, he definitely had a down season, and that just goes to show how, despite Evan Nilsson having a down season, Bournemouth improved, and Kruppi was at the heart of that. 30, like we said it before, 13 goals, most by a teenager in their debut Premier League season. And they weren't just all tap-ins. He was scored several bangers, and yeah, I think we should have him in there, but I did also want to give Morgan Rogers would be my second shout here because whilst he had a lot of dips and peaks in form, he is still an absolute quality player, and then you look at the 10 goals, 6 assists and go, actually, it's a pretty good par for the course for a season. But I think maybe we expected more from him.
I feel like he needs that extra bit more just to be that player for us, but I think also if he does find that extra bit more, maybe Villa fans are seeing it and we're not, but if he does find an extra bit more, that's when £120 million bid's going to be coming in, like it is for Anderson, who's clearly got that little bit more and doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or our third mystery option here is we Garth Crooks it and put Morgan Gibbs-White here. That I'm happy with any of these options. I feel a bit funny about having 2 Forest players in there, but then you look at Gibbs-White's stats, and it's if we were going to shoehorn someone, he probably deserves it. But I think I mean,
let's put Kruppi.
I would say it's between Kruppi and Gibbs-White. So I'll give you the final decision.
Let's put Kruppi in for now and see if it changes when we get to strikers.
Okay, Kruppi's in there for now. Yeah, I like it.
So strikers, I've already mentioned Watkins as a notable one. Thiago, there's my pick, and I really want us to make a case of why he's not in our team.
Okay, so I will make my case for Ollie Watkins over Igor Thiago as our striker.
Anyone, you can make a case for anyone above him. This hate I've got for him is so irrational now, but it's literally the World Cup memes have all been coming out as well, just strengthening my feelings towards it.
I've edged this on as well with my irrational hatred for it too. Which is so funny because you skip back 6 months ago, and I think we were both almost in love with this player. Like
Yeah.
he was like a throwback striker, but he was banging goals in. And then our opinions of him have soured over towards the end of the season from like February onwards. I know that Arsenal game sticks out in your memory. There were many games where he missed gilt-edged chances and honestly was holding Brentford back a bit at the end of the season by not putting these away. And then you had that opening game, Brazil against Morocco, where he just kind of stunk up the joint, and Brazilian fans were like, who is this bricklayer we've got up front?
What was it? They did like a list of the Brazilian bricklayers that have started their first group game. It's ridiculous. Oh, mate, yeah. Maybe we're just being way too harsh here, aren't we? But
super harsh.
I'm here for it. Okay.
Okay, so my case, right? I've got the comparison tool up there. So one, Igor Thiago is a catfish. He he scored 8 penalties this season out of his 22 goals.
You've been having a bad time on Grinder this week. Is that what's been happening?
Too many catfishes on there, man. It's a dead app. Yeah, eight penalties out of his 22 goals, and he got 1 assist all season. So he's a selfish bastard too. So if you look at catfish, if you look at his non-penalty goals and assists per 90, it was 0.41. Cut to glowing poster boy Ollie Watkins as the person we should usher into this striker role. He has a non-penalty goals and assists per 90 ratio of 0.6. Ollie Watkins took a little bit of the start of the season to get going, but once he got going, he fired Brentford to he fired Villa to top 4 in the league, Europa League winners. I know we're not mentioning it. I know we're not taking that into account, but we probably are like somewhat in the back of our minds. He just had a better like impact. So like he played less games as well. So like in his 90s he got 31.5, whereas Igor Thiago played 36.5. So in a few less minutes, Ollie Watkins had a better impact than Igor Thiago did. And if you take it like
he's just clearly
and Ollie Watkins didn't score a penalty. He took 0 penalties this season, whereas Thiago took 9 and scored 8. And it's just like Ollie Watkins is just a better player, like much more all-rounded player. I think if we were going to play this forward 3 of like Krupi Jr., Harry Wilson, I'd want Ollie Watkins up there. We're gonna get absolute stick for when we put the graphic out there and like we don't have Igor Thiago in there. But I've made my case.
Could we put Thiago on the bench in the graphic and bring him on for penalties?
No, if we don't have him in there, we're not having a bench. So we're not that's we've got honourable mentions. That's enough of a cop out from us. We're not having a bench in our team of the season. We are firmly putting Ollie Watkins in there, or you're a coward and you're putting Igor Thiago in there. I've made my case. Where do you stand?
It's Watkins then. In honesty, if we put Watkins in there, we get a good spread of teams as well, don't we? So we've got 3 from Sunderland, but that's probably to be expected in groups. Ballard and Xhaka. Like, you can't do what they did and not get a lot of players in there. 1 from West Ham, 1 from Palace, 1 from Brentford, 1 from Forest, 2 from Bournemouth, 1 from Villa, 1 from Fulham.
To be honest, we've probably not got enough Villa players in here, like, given they finished 4th.
Yeah, but who else for Villa stood out for you? I mean,
Rodgers and John McGinn, Buendia, like, they had players that were probably just not in the like conversation, like but just honourable mention level.
So their whole team was going at an 8 or 9 the whole season. Do you know what I mean? That's how they got to where they were, and it shows the stuff about a team rather than individuals, I guess.
But and also they were playing Thursday, Sunday all season long, similar to Palace were. So like Luca Digne is up there for stats for left backs, but he also played half of the season where Maatsen played half of the season. So like. It's like, right, actually, because you played loads in Europe, you didn't play necessarily every week in the Premier League, so you sort of take that out of there as well. Like Ezri Konsa had moments where he was really good, but I don't think he had his best season.
Nah.
So I'm not putting him as a centre back, and he kind of sort of had a rotating partnership of like Pau Torres or Victor Lindelof, or Tyrone Mings if he was ever fit, and like Martinez maybe had a fine season, but I think not necessarily his best season ever. So like we probably should have had more Villa players in there, but when you go through the list, you can kind of make reasons for not having them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we put Watkins in there and we're all good. And I think we've got a nice split across it all. So, do you want to do the defenders and I'll do the midfielders and we can read out our team of the season?
Sure, that's right. So in a 4-3-3 formation, in goal we have Robin Roos of Sunderland. At right back we have Michael Kayode of Brentford. In the centre we've got Konstantinos Mavropanos of West Ham and Dan Ballard of Sunderland, and at left back we have Tyrick Mitchell of Crystal Palace.
Cool. And then in midfield we have Elliot Anderson, Alex Scott, Granit Xhaka of Forest, Bournemouth and Sunderland respectively. And then up front we have Harry Wilson of Fulham, Ollie Watkins of Villa and Junior Krupi of Bournemouth. So yeah, I'm not too disappointed with our team of the season. I would have felt bad if we had Thiago in there. I don't know why.
Exactly. Neither of us would have been happy with it. And at the end of the day, it's our podcast, so none of it matters.
Yeah.
Do what feels right.
Exactly. Cool. Okay. That's it for this week and this season completely now. We won't be touching on anything else last season, will we? We might have a little bit of a Are we going to do a World Cup-ish podcast maybe at some point? Maybe a quick review?
Let's have a think and see if we think we can come up with some ideas around the World Cup whilst it's on, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. To be fair, we touched on it at the beginning of episodes like, no one really cares, do they? No one's going to be coming to us for football World Cup content when there's enough of it already out there everywhere you look.
There's a lot of it out there.
Yeah, exactly. That Netflix, what was it? The Rest is Football turning into a Netflix show is not something I saw coming. And I was just like, that is Netflix money being thrown at something there. Gary Lineker must be laughing.
Netflix have been desperate to break into sport for ages, so it's not a surprise that they're like, just give money to something that is already popular.
If you're Gary, you're not there like, thank God the BBC got rid of me. I'm now making Netflix money and ITV money and podcasts. It's just there like, it's a treat.
Yeah, although his BBC wage wasn't small now, was it?
True, but I bet Netflix is bigger. But hey ho, that's it. Cool. We'll also have some pre-season podcasts coming up in the future. So yeah, look out for those. But otherwise, feel free to rate and review the pod and tell your friends, or follow some socials and Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Upper14FC Podcast, or email in at upper14fcpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, otherwise I'll catch you next time.
See you next time, mate.